doesn't matter how many times I do this, I'm always like a minute and a half late. Let me go ahead and open up the thingies. I gotta go to my stream over here. This is the first live unboxing on the channel, by the way. Done a lot of live videos, less so this year than I'm supposed to. But we are here with a live unboxing of Lands of Evershade. I got my thing open, switched to all messages. Sorry, I was eating lunch, I'm a little behind. I want this game, so ready for mine, still not shipped. Got my copy yesterday, it's awesome, so many pieces. Wait, Nighthawk. Is it awesome because there's so many pieces, or is it awesome and there are so many pieces? Honestly, we'll get into it more in this video because this is an unboxing and rambling, which means we talk about various things as we do this. But the sheer quantity of game here is a downside to me. I loved Lands of Evershade, but I loved Lands of Evershade when it was this, not when it was all of this. This is too much and it's a problem. It's a person by person problem. Some people love having all the stuff, some people less love having all the stuff. I situationally love having all the stuff. I think if it's boxes full of miniatures for a game that's very modular, like right now Zombicide, More Cthulhu May Die, love that. When it's a narrative game, I'm like, it's already a lot to keep track. Whatever, we'll get to it. It took over 2 hours to punch out everything, get organized according to AR's guide. That checks out because Awakened Realms, as much as I can love some of their games, not the easiest to go from getting the game to playing the game. Does everything fit the box on the sleeve? No idea. You start campaign yet or building characters? I didn't do anything because I have it all in shrink. I didn't get sleeve, but from what others have said, doesn't. You need to use the box. Sleeves come in. Good news that 2/3 of the miniatures, so you don't use that often. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this. This is going to be an unboxing and rambling with a live chat because I've never done that before, and we'll find out just how well that works or doesn't work. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, I have not done enough live videos this year, and I should do more live videos. There was a point where I was doing a weekly live stream every Thursday at 1 p.m. It's Thursday at 1 p.m. Oh, it's perfect timing. Cool, look at that. But then I stopped, and then I was going to do other live videos instead, and I did like 2 of them. So we'll see if we get more live content on the channel, but let's go ahead and get started. This was for like the thumbnail shot, but now I take all these things and I put it off to the side, and I start going through things with the core box. Now, Lands of Evershade. Oh, and for those of you who are new to the unboxing and ramblings on the channel, unboxing and ramblings are exactly what they sound like. They are me rambling about whatever comes to mind. I usually end up talking about the game to some extent. Let me just grab that thing that fell on the floor. Just got whacked in the face with my glasses over there. Those things fell over. But they usually end up being about the game to some extent. But they also usually end up being about whatever comes to mind. A box literally went all the way over there. Let's go ahead and grab that. Not sure exactly what I put there unstably. But anyways, what was I saying? Unboxing, ramblings, got hit in the face. Oh yes, so the warning, the overdue warning for all of you. I will talk about whatever comes to mind. That might be some of Awakened Realms, Lands of Evershade. It might be about other things in general. It might be about the state of crowdfunding. It might be about whatever topics you put in chat. That's the new thing about this. If you are just here for a showcase of Lands of Evershade, this is not the right video for you. If you are here to instantly learn some things about Lands of Evershade, this might be partially the right video for you, but let's go ahead and dive into it. Also, I realized this diorama thingy over here was not in the, Okay, we also have a live cat stream! This is the first time we have a live cat stream. Let's open the diorama first, because you know what? It's a giant miniature, and I want to open it first. I will pay attention to chat as much as I can periodically, but the cat's going to make things difficult. There's top shot of the cat, for those of you who are interested in top shot of the cat. Hey, Elfie. What would you like? Do you realize we're on camera? Would you like to crawl into this box? You want to crawl in here? You can crawl in. Okay, yep, you can get in. It's basically, what if we put something in there? No, go ahead. Go in the box, yep. Okay. Amazing. Love it. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to put you on top of this box over here. We have a box with a cat in it. So, let's go ahead and dive into it and see when the cat decides she's done with that box and wants to come out. We have our diorama. I will see if I can assemble this as properly as possible without needing any guide. Does it need glue is the real question. I don't know because I haven't done this yet. This looks like it probably goes on this side. Okay, yep, okay, this goes on that side. This is probably going to go on the shelf behind me, I realize. So Lands of Evershade was one of my favorite prototypes that I've ever played. I am both incredibly excited for it and genuinely kind of wish it had been a lot less content for me. I almost wish I just got to like a core box because there's so much stuff here, and I have big box fatigue. I still love big boxes, but it takes more to get to that point. Like I need to organize this, see how much it is, and see whether it's too much all those things. Anyways, we're going to put these guys in here, and however we want, and I think we can take things from the campaign and organize them as well. That was a very easy to put together diorama. Here you go. I realized I didn't do top shots on this. Let's go ahead and show you some degree of top shot. Elfie, do you like it? Yeah. This is going to be more cat than game, I'm starting to realize, because she wants to join. But let's go ahead and show you the top shot. Oh no, this is falling over because these are miniatures meant to fall out. Let's take these out over here. So here we go. Here's our, miniature. Giant miniature. This is actually very nice. But again, it's nice to have. It's certainly nice to have. It is not a gameplay aspect. It is a go on the shelf behind me aspect. So we'll do that now. Let's go ahead and take this and see where I want to put it on the shelf. We have a giant dragon on this side, and we have this purple Galactus over here, which doesn't really fit quite as nicely. So dragon's going to go over there. Purple Galactus will go up here until I move that later. Okay, problem solved. Let's open more core boxes and see how chat's going. Meow, didn't expect a cat. Well, that box is no longer yours. You are never getting that box back. I just went core for that reason. A good choice. Good choice. So, yeah, core. The tricky part with core is there's things you will miss out on, but there's also like it is okay. I don't know if you guys have seen the size of the Lands of Evershade box. It is just too big. But when you take it all out, it's a little bit more manageable, and I hope to get it as much condensed as I possibly can. But honestly, I might try to just deal with the core and put everything else into a deal with later, except for, of course, metal coins, because metal coins are metal coins. You can use the dragon miniature to fight if you want. Can you? Good to know. I'll grab it from over there, because I'm not keeping the box just for that. So, this is an unboxing. Probably should show you the top shot of whatever we have going on here. These are going to be put together to whatever capacity, we need to do. We have our starter set. There was a nice little letter. Oh, here's the letter. Here's the letter. This is the typical Awakened Realms letter, which we can open and take a quick look at. We have Dear Backer, etc. Moment, 10th anniversary. Last year, 10th anniversary of Awakened Realms. I don't think I realized that. Studio's early days. We're no longer a fresh face in the hobby. Over the recent years, we delivered Okay. Just reading through this, just scanning through it quickly. Okay, cool. I'll look at this more. I am of the opinion that Lands of Evershade will be Awakened Realms' highest rated game. Not because I liked it. I mean, it's my favorite game from Awakened Realms, I think. Stalker's mechanics I love, but Lands of Evershade was a relatively manageable campaign game size that was also a lot of fun to play. Like, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to diving back into it, with the caveat that I'm also purging like half the campaign games in my collection. I think I do that on a regular year. There's a concept out there called half-life. Like, the half-life of a mineral or material is how long it takes for it to become half of the volume it was. My campaign games have been going through a half-life situation. Like, every year it shrinks. So I started with, 40, and then it's dropped to 20, and it's going to up to 10, and then 5, and then 2.5. I don't know if the half's going to be. We'll figure that out. But I do kind of feel the desire to shrink to, 5 campaign games. Because more and more I realize that regardless of how much I enjoy the campaign game experience, they don't fit into my life as smoothly as some other things. And I like playing them, and I dive into them, and then I get distracted by the next thing, and I'm suddenly 5 games into one thing, and I have to play the other thing. And this is partially a problem with having too many games. It's partially a problem with being a content creator. This is not a problem for everyone. That's why, I'm not saying they shouldn't have made this much Lands of Evershade. I'm saying it's too much Lands of Evershade for me. Making it's great, because there are some people who'll make this a lifestyle game, who'll dive into it a ton, and I remember the early days of me getting into crowdfunding, of me really diving into more of those games. I've played hundreds of hours of certain campaign games, and then others I've played 5 games, wanted to play more, gotten distracted by the next thing, because there's always another thing, and for me it's part of my job. A job that I enjoy, but it does come with that churn aspect that is a little... I always had a degree of churn in my hobby, because I like finding new things, but I definitely have more as a content creator. So, into the White Well. By the way, I'm going to do my best to avoid spoilers in general. Let me zoom in a drop more. I'm going to do my best to avoid spoilers in general, but there might be some spoilers throughout things, just incidentally of what I see. So if you're here for the ride, you're here for the ride. Darian Kazad, we got miniatures, we got this, we have our starting adventure storybook. Looks very premium. Let's take a look. Ooh, I remember this board. Okay, let's take this out for a second. So, having played the prototype, again, there's a reason I like this. Is this meant to be an intro? Is this basically what I had before? So I've played, this looks new to me. I don't recall this being in the prototype, but I could be wrong. It was a while ago. This looks similar, but a lot of these boards look similar, so it's not a guarantee. I definitely played through the chase over here. Definitely played Journey to Whitewell, so I'm going to stop showing you all these things. I don't want to do spoilers for you too much, but this over here this has me excited. Lands of Evershade, Into the Whitewell. This I'm assuming is the starting adventure storybook. Okay, this is going to cover most of what you actually need to deal with. Now, I hope they make this accessible. That's the big thing for me. I hope they make this a very accessible to dive into game. What was the last game? There was it Grim Coven? I think it was Grim Coven. Grim Coven was one where I played the prototype, I got the game, it's on the shelf over there, and I'm like, I'll see when I want to relearn the rules to dive into it. So the question often is, how easy is it to dive into? And Awakened Realms in general, they are not always the best at making their games the easiest to dive into. This is tutorial, go to 25. Okay, so this is giving you tutorial breakdown rules. And again, I remember the basics, so assuming I could probably drive straight into the tutorial, once I get things sorted, that is, because I already know the basics of the game. So I might be doing this. The main challenge, I need to figure out where these things go. And like, I'm playing through, like, right now I'm playing through Metal Gear Solid from Simon. Yeah, I think they still own that one. I don't think they sold that one, but they probably should, because Metal Gear Solid is an excellent game. If you're in chat and you've played Metal Gear Solid, the board game from Simon, let me know, because I am curious whether you've played it, because it's a really, really good game, in my opinion, and I'm diving back into that. I started it a while ago, played the first few missions, and never continued, and I'm starting again from scratch and remembering how good it is. Metal Gear Solid might be my favorite stealth game, which is a crazy thing to say. But like, I think the problem is V Commandos is one that I really enjoy. But then that became Assassin's Creed, which I enjoyed more thematically. But ultimately, it was more of a campaign experience. That goes back to this in general, where I played a lot, but then it's hard to dive back into it. V Commandos is easier to kind of pick up from any spot where you want to. Like, there's a degree of like equipment progression in it, but you could just play any scenario in theory. And I think it's very... Did I say V Commandos? I meant Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid is so easy. It's very good. If you played Metal Gear Solid... Oh, Stalker is a bit stealth. You're right. Stalker is excellent. But Stalker is also harder to get into. Like, harder to, like, the mount... Stalker is rules heavy. Component heavy, rules heavy, box heavy. It's why I'm very excited for Scoundrels. If you watched my Awakened Realms next breakdown, I am very excited for Scoundrels. Okay, lots of sheets of stuff over here. So you can look at the sheets of stuff. If you're watching this later, you can pause and look at any individual thing. That hardened battle plate, like I want that hardened battle plate. That looks pretty cool, right? You want that. What's your favorite piece of gear? It's an interactive unboxing. Which one of these things is the coolest piece of armor that you want? Because for me, if I have to look at this again, 1 second. The light leather armor also looks cool. I like the light leather armor. That's this one over here. That looks pretty baller. I played Stalker and Metal on PC, but not table. Is it fun? Stalker is incredible on the table, but it is rules heavy. Metal Gear Solid is very easy to dive into. There is a rule book, but there's also a tutorial guide that just like, it's like 4 pages of just mostly text, honestly. There is a lot. I have a gameplay film for the first tutorial guide that you can watch at some point. I haven't put it up. I just recently filmed it. It'll go up at some point. But it is very accessible, with the caveat that I did find myself constantly checking the rules of Metal Gear Solid to see how things react. So very short rules, but I have to be like, oh, now this is happening. Is that guard going to move here? Is it going to move there? Any advice for Scoundrels? Only the core box. So part of the tricky part here, and this is one of those things that, to be very delicate in the way I put this, because this is not a complaint. This is a free copy of Lands of Evershade. I cover the crowdfunding campaign, and generally if I cover the game, Awakened Realms will send me the game. So I didn't choose what pleasures to go with, and this is not a complaint of getting too much stuff. I like unboxing it, and this game I like enough that I would have wanted all this stuff. If I was... I used to back a ton of stuff. I still back a lot of things. I am more selective about going all in these days when it's my own money on the line. And even, I think there's even like free copies where I'd rather have just the base pledge. And again, it's a very privileged position to be in to get games, like to get some games like this for free. But I do think the core box for something like this is going to be a lot. I think it depends on who you are. You have to know yourself. If you dive into these things a ton, then you know, enjoy it. Go for it. For me, I know the kinds of games that I still want the all-in. Again, Zombicide, Cthulhu Left May Die, things like that. I still want the all-in for those, and I still benefit from the all-in. When it comes to campaign-type experiences, ISS Vanguard, Evershade, Agamonia, all those I think that the core box is usually more than enough based on how I am. Okay. Then we have these are various, the titles. We have, Farmstead. We have a Bard, Performer, Support Magic, Thiefcraft. We have a Skill, Artistry. And the way the player boards work, you'll see them soon, but everything slots in so nicely as far as, the ability to track all this. Here's your standees, and for those miniatures that you don't need. Is that the dragon? Is that the dragon on the shelf behind me now? Let's take a look. Is that It looks dragon. This looks like the dragon. So this is your standee for that display piece. Here are some, oh, we got little punch board pieces falling up, but I don't need those. I'll have to punch through these later. Getting this organized is going to be a beast, but we're not going to be doing that in this video because that would take hours. I'm going to throw on a TV show in the background. What TV show should I watch while I organize this? What am I in the middle of? I'm currently in the middle of Scrubs, which honestly is not holding up, but I wanted to watch the new Scrubs that came out, and so I'm watching the old Scrubs. Really not holding up. From all the TV shows I've been watching recently, it's not holding up, but it's good background stuff. Because I'm also catching up on, oh my gosh, Gen V, I think it's called. Because I finished the first 4 seasons of The Boys, and I want to watch season 5, but I want to watch Gen V first. But that's an attention show. I'm not doing that in the background. Okay, secret sheets, camp sheets. So we have our camp, which I remember having this. We have our secret sheets. I don't think that was in the prototype. We have this over here. No idea what that is. We have our little binder book, which we'll be putting together. We have our rule book, which I am probably going to skip because I don't want to read the whole rule book. It is lots of pages, 35 pages, but I think I could dive in without the rule book because there's a tutorial. In fact, there's a start here guide as well. Start here, unboxing, do this, punch out the sorting items, move the advanced and expert, assemble the dials, empty the trays, assemble all this together, load the second tray. You know what I'm excited for as well? Speaking of things I'm watching, I am excited for Now You See Me 3. I just watched Now You See Me 1 again, and I want to watch 3, but I want to watch 2 again as well. So I want to get caught up on all the stuff. I've already watched 1 and 2, but it's a good show. Like, watching 1 again, Now You See Me holds up, in my opinion. Like, I think I watched the first one 3 times now. Well, just recently was the 3rd time. And I honestly forgot some of the twists in 1. I remember something about 2, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, I'm not going to spoil things for you. Here's your player boards. These are so much nicer than the prototypes I had. Okay, 3-body problem. Oh my gosh, 3-body problem has been fun. What's he saying? 3-body problem has been fun. New season soon. I loved the first season of 3-body problem. I went out and bought the books. I have the books upstairs. I haven't read them, but I bought the books. I'm in the middle of Dungeon Crawler Carl right now. I'm currently on the 2nd book of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm getting caught up in my reading. But anyways, 3-body problem was an excellent show. But those are things, some shows you need to watch dedicatedly. You can't just like throw in the background. I'm saying this kind of stuff is background stuff, which I just rewatched the entire Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad and then El Camino. And I did that in the background because I'd watched Breaking Bad before, but even that is hard to focus. It's a good show. Okay, then we go. We have this over here, which is your character board. Oh, are these each? Okay, each one of these is your own character board tray. Lovely, love this. This is great because you have your boards over here. You have your various attributes. You're going to be building your character. I'll be doing all of that soon. I am very excited to do all of this. I'm awesome. I'm in the middle of too many games. I'm in the middle of too many games right now. This is a good problem to have, but I'm currently going through. I finally started playing. Well, 2 games I'm playing. I'm almost finished Boss Fighters QR. That's light, fun, beer and pretzels, playing through the 10 bosses, but I'm enjoying that. I started as well. Here's more of these trays, because you have one for each character. So, you know, tray number 2, tray number 3. I also started, what's it called again? It's the Kinfire Chronicles. I started doing that. I enjoyed the first episode of that, the first mission, the tutorial. I need to play it more, but that's also relatively easy to dive into. And then I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, the board game. That's in addition to the fact that I'm still in the middle of Santorini Riddle of the Sphinx, and I still theoretically want to play through some Kingdom Rush. I wanted to play through the whole Kingdom Rush campaign this year, and I don't know if I'm going to because of too many other things. And now I'm going to be starting Lands of Evershade. So we shall see. Wait, is this a 5-player game? I would never play this game 5 players. I would play this game at 2. 3 I could possibly debate the merits of, but this is a 1 or 2 player game for me. All right. Then we have miniatures, the things you're all here for. We got miniatures, the core box miniatures. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. We'll do this in whatever order we can. We'll zoom in on the top camera to be able to get you those closer shots. And we have miniatures. So let's go ahead and show you minis while paying attention to chat. I wanted to make Scoundrels minis usable in Lands of Evershade in terms of scale. They should in terms of... So crossover packs are a fascinating thing. And I used to love crossover packs. I remember the first time that I was like, you know what? I really want to like have a crossover pack for Massive Darkness. And by the way, this is really cool. I like this piece. Massive Darkness and like, you know, Black Plague or all that. In theory, I used to love crossover packs. In practice, I rarely ever use them. Even like the Kemet Cyclades crossover pack, I just don't use them. I don't play the games enough to need the specific component that I'm pulling from a different box. And I do wonder how many people are in that camp. Like how many people like actually use them versus want to use them versus get to a point where I am where I like the idea of them but I don't need them. So like a crossover pack between Scoundrels and Lands of Evershade, like Is it more characters to play in Lands of Evershade? Do I not have enough characters between all the content they have here? Am I really playing through it that much? I find the best kind of crossover pack is plug and play accessibility. So like I still have some characters from Besieged, I think it's called Besieged, that I can use in Zombicide. That at least is like the easiest to incorporate and usable game to game. I'm not going to play a full campaign arc with a character from Lands of Evershade. Now, would it be cool if they somehow showed up in the story and you had something that you could incorporate? Yeah, that's cool. Like, I think that's... Oh, oops, don't break the miniatures right away. I think it's cool, but it has to be done in a way that you don't need to reach the other box. You could just use the standee in Scoundrels, but if you have the miniature from Lands of Evershade, great, you can do that. I think I'm more interested in worlds that are shared. So like the same way that Lands of Evershade and Scoundrels share the same universe, I think I do like that. A good example would be, I still want Vindication people, Orange Nebula. I still want them to do a planet for Unsettled that is the world of Vindication. Not crossover. I want thematic crossover, not component crossover. Got another box full of miniatures over here. Not a ton of conversation around the miniatures themselves, but like I said already, this is an unboxing and rambling. We do whatever comes to mind. Miniatures are great, you know, typical Awakened Realms quality, which honestly, to their credit, it is typical Awakened Realms quality. Some companies have inconsistent quality with game to game, which ones have better miniatures. Awakened Realms, both as a pro and a con, are pretty consistent. The pro part is the miniatures are always great looking. The con part is they do have a very specific style to the miniatures. Like their games, like you can see an Awakened Realms miniature and it looks like an Awakened Realms miniature, which if it was just about the quality, that would be good, but it's also at the styling. There's not like a lot of room for wondering which miniatures are Awakened Realms. I think if you lined up miniatures in front of a player, this would actually be a fun game. Find someone who knows board games, has a few Awakened Realms board games, and then find a bunch of Awakened Realms miniatures, and then play a game of different miniatures, not just Awakened Realms, and play a game of seeing if they can pick out the Awakened Realms miniatures from a lineup. Removing the Sun Drop, because that would be another giveaway, obviously. Alright, we are almost done with these miniatures. These zip models turn out great. Yep. These are very solid. Again, I'm excited to play this game. It's a freaking great game. But going back to what I was saying about how I think it's going to be their best rated game, it's probably my favorite from them with the possible exception of Scoundrels. Scoundrels, the gameplay is incredible, but I think Lands of Evershade still gets the points over Scoundrels. The tricky part is, these are going to be a bunch of empty trays for the most part, I think. We'll see. The tricky part, not tricky part, there's no tricky part, is the general feedback around Lands of Evershade was so excellent that I think it wasn't just me. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes I love a game and others are like, that's okay. A good example is Spectacular. I think Spectacular is so much fun. It's a small little fun Euro game. I love it. And people are like, it's fine. It's totally fine. These are bags and some bits. Nothing too exciting here. So sometimes it is just me who loves a game. Other times, lots of people love the game, and Lands of Evershade generally had a lot of positive feedback. Even Shelfside, who generally are very critical of Awakened Realms, they thought it was their best game yet, and I agree with them because it is their best game yet. So I think this might get a lot of positive buzz. I did see a rating on Board Game Geek. Someone rated it a 5 to account for all the ratings. To balance the ratings, which is interesting because 5 is not balancing ratings, it's middle of the road already, but I think that was intended to be tongue-in-cheek. But it's a 5 to balance all the ratings for a game that isn't even out yet. And I was like, I've seen multiple people, not just content creators, I've seen a lot of people getting this already, so is it not like, what is the status of this one? Because I've definitely seen non-content creators with this game. If it's just content creators, early press copies, I get that. But I've definitely seen non-content creators with this game. Let's take a look at the player's handbook and zoom out a bit more on this so you can see the full thing. What is this? It's going to be all the stuff around the world. The book you hold in your hands is your gateway to the world of Evershade. It's not a rulebook. To start the game or answer any rules-related questions, please refer to the Lands of Rulebook. Rulebook, Familiarize yourself, create fresh characters, advance existing characters, and pursue stories unrelated to your current adventure. Okay, this could be fun. I remember they had something like this in the prototype. This is the Alf. Not to be confused with elves, they're totally different. Festival of Scrolls, Ascendance of Luada. We have a blank. Is a blank a character? A blank is an actual term for this guy. That feels offensive. Exceptional reach. Okay. Is that a human? That's a human. Hey, they do have exceptional reach if that's true. We have a Bulgrim. I think I played as a Bulgrim. I vaguely recall playing as a Bulgrim and an Alf, but it's been a while, so I could be forgetting which were the... I played with 2 characters. Definitely not a failing. I think as a Bulgrim and an Alf, but I'd have to look and see if I covered this. Am I maybe a human? I don't know. I'd have to look at my videos and see what I had on the board, if anything. But we have lots of stuff over here. We have some degree of text over here for something, so I guess that might be referenced. There's a lot of world building. That was actually the image. This is one of the images, I believe. Maybe it's an image on the box. This looks like the box cover, but it could be adjacent. It might not be the box cover itself. It's just adjacent art styles. Cool. Lots of world building here, which we'll get to at some point. But first things first, I need to make sure I don't knock these over, and I need to take out this box so you can see the last core part before I go to expansion boxes. Also, how far are we in time? We're half an hour into the unboxing. It's not terrible. I am prepared to not cover everything. We will see. Okay, we have our trackers over here. In each individual adventure, you're going to be tracking various things. So you rescue the shoekeeper's daughter, you'll put down a G over here. And then you'll reference, okay, we have G when something calls for checking G. That's what that track is over here. We have tokens of some sort. So I'm not going to zoom in on the camera right now, but we got, you know, a little token. This actually looks pretty similar to the miniatures from Dragori Games and Tenaris Adventures. In fact, even these are very adjacent to that. I know I just said that Awakened Realms miniatures look like Awakened Realms miniatures, and that's still true, but they just have the pieces are similar, not the miniature sculpt quality. So over here we have another one, and I'll catch up on chat because I should do that. So here we go. That's a nice. I like that. That's a fun little skull. I like the coloring. I like the sculpt. I do like that skull. I like it. It's charming. Charming. I mentioned charming. I'm also in the middle of Once Upon a Time with my kids. We got dice over here, but I'm doing it with my kids. They were interested in it. We got some cards, which we will open up, but we will not go through cards too much because it can mess up the order of things. Also, I'm so behind in chat. 35 isn't that bad. It's super doable. 35 what? My brother just told me about Dungeon Crawler Carl. Love the cat. Yes, Princess Donut. God damn it, Donut. Did you also get Odalin from Dragori Games? Yes, I have. Wait. Oh, no, I did not get Odalin. I didn't get a final copy of Odalin. No. I agree. These dip models turn out great. Curious, do you still play Unsettled? I haven't played Unsettled in a bit. I still love Unsettled. It's not on the chopping block at all, but I haven't played it in a bit. Okay, so we have Barbarian Advancement cards, the Custodian, the Life Shaper. I just said I'm not going to mix up the cards, and I drop one. These are going to be locations. What are these? We have our ticking vestigial. We have Ogdur, Tiana the Barbarian. I guess these are going to be mobs, it looks like. So these are enemies are fighting, I assume. Garland the Executor. Let's not show too much. I don't want to spoil. Putty the Doctor. That sounds great. And then we have Party's Inventory, your various player rates. Okay, all fun things here. We have a bag, nothing in it. That's fine. We got more dice over here. So we got these dice, we got these dice, and we have more cards. Okay. Europe's slowest to wait. Are there a lot of gameplay differences between Scoundrels and Stalker, or most of the theme? I believe they're going to be totally different. If Scoundrels is indeed based on between Stalker, not Lands of Evershade. I don't know. I don't know the differences. I have no idea what differences there'll be between Scoundrels and Stalker. If the gameplay is the same, I'm almost certainly ditching Stalker because I love Stalker, but I couldn't care less about the theme. I love the gameplay. So if you give me a better theme, and I love the world of Lands of Evershade, that's incredible for me. So I'm incredibly excited for Scoundrels. I am prepared to drop Stalker the second I get Scoundrels. Maybe. But also, it's probably going to be like a year and a half till Scoundrels is even here. So it's time to play more Stalker and familiarize myself with the mechanics again. Alright, you got some cards over here, various locations. These are going to be things that plug onto your player board. You have that party sheet, which was in one of the other boxes, and you have an overlay kind of, so you can kind of put cards into it and build out your binder and then level these things up as you go, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool that you have these RPGs. It's a very similar system to Iridia, I guess, in the sense that you're kind of progressing your characters and having it all track things. I loved Iridia. Iridia's big problem for me was that it's a 50-hour campaign that... How did these go? They go over here. It's a 50-hour campaign that I took a break from for 3 months and then couldn't figure out how to best continue it because they have a key system, and I was like, I don't want to figure... The key system, ultimately, to me, was the downfall of Iridia for me. I love Iridia. I think it's amazing. I don't think it's a game I can realistically take a break from and then go back to smoothly, and that is the death of any campaign. One of the reasons I am excited for Lands of Evershade is the campaign arcs are like 15 hours. This is something they started with Stalker, where they started making mini campaigns so people can play a campaign arc, and then you can come back and play a new campaign arc, and your character is leveled up. One of the things they did with, not with Stalker, but with Lands of Evershade, is you have 3 levels of campaigns. You have level 1 campaigns, level 2 campaigns, and level 3 campaigns. So you say, okay, great. Over the next month, we'll play Campaign 1. And then in 3 months, we'll come back with our leveled up characters and play Campaign 2. Then we can play Campaign 3, and so you have these kind of weird ways you can do this. And you can build new characters, start with new characters, old characters. It's a very clever way to bridge that gap between giving players tons of content while making it accessible at the same time. So I'm not going to go through a ton of these cards. My biggest concern is that these types of cards, first of all, they don't look that interesting. There's a lot of text over here. But also, I don't want to mess up the card orders over here. There are fun things like, let's say, Chain Lightning, an attack, a ranged spell, shows you the targets it's hitting, roll for intelligence, and for div. What's div? I don't know what div is. +1. Also, I'm not a role-playing player. Some acronyms I'd have to like think through. Then we have Resolve the effect in the back. You lose 2 HP, you gain 1. So these are various cards that players will have a bunch of spells. You have Backstab. I think I had that at one point. Lots of these little abilities you can get. You'll start with some, and you'll progress and unlock more. Divine. Divine does make sense. That probably is it. Okay, let's just open these two. I'm going to open these other card packs because at this point I feel like I should. Although they do not fit in here. They barely fit Uzz's. They certainly will not fit when sleeved. Okay, let's get those like that. Let's open this one over here, see if there are any interesting cards here. What is chat saying? Is it Green Logistics? I don't know, I assume. Europe still has to wait some time. Ship arrives 20th of May. Okay, it's not that far out. So we have more skills over here. The gameplay is amazing, I agree. They added an Algrim as a race too, an Alf Bolgrim. Did they? That's fun. Okay. As for the new Zombicide, do you think it's difficult enough? Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do. I wanted back to the first Zombicide I got with 2nd edition. That was disappointing. 2nd edition was possibly my most disappointing Zombicide because it looked so good, and I was like, I'm excited to dive into modern Zombicide. And then I played it, and it was way too easy. Again, we intentionally played recklessly. We played a lot. Like, we really went into it. And it was way too easy. So everything comes out 2nd edition, I'm like, okay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't care. It's 2nd edition. But I will say Undead or Alive, the Western one, was very hard, and I was pleasantly surprised with that one. I was not expecting that one to be as good as it was, and I wasn't even there for the theme, but the difficulty made it worth it. And then Marvel Zombies and Deceased are also appropriately difficult. I'm very happy with those. But then, these go here. No, those don't go there. Where does this go? Where does this go? Okay, don't fall over, please. Nope, not like that. Like that. I am not going to, in the slightest, remember how this goes. Oh, no, this went there. That's what went on. Okay, and then, what was I saying? Pirate Zombicide. Pirate Zombicide was tough. Played it twice. Lost the first time. The second time we won, but technically we cheated. Could we have won? I don't know. But apparently you can't shoot zombies while they're in the water, and guess what we did? If your guess was shot zombies while they're in the water, bing, 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 you get a point. We did not, because we lost the game, apparently. So anyways, my point is, these go like this? No. How did this go in? These went like that. Okay, there we go. Anyways, so I think it was appropriately difficult for that scenario. Keep in mind, a big thing with these games is that a single difficult scenario does not a gameplay make. The best scenario for Cthulhu Death May Die, in my opinion, is still the very first scenario they show you. That's the best one, which feels a little unfair. Like, all the other scenarios are not as good as the first one. It's a thing. So I like Pirate Zombicide a lot for the theme. I love the tile aesthetic. I think they did a great job with the presentation. Is the box supposed to be this? Like, I guess I have to unbox it, but I'll do that later. I mean, not unbox it. I have to, like, rebox it, whatever. Yeah, I recommend it. If you like difficult games, I recommend Zombicide Pirates. If you don't like difficult games, I recommend 2nd edition. But if you like slaughtering hordes of zombies with tactical decisions, I do think Zombicide's a great game. I'm a big fan of it. Okay, that covers box 1. What do we want to do next? Let's take a look at this giant thing, because I have no clue what's in this box, because they put it in a white box. And I just knocked something on the floor, but whatever. Lands of Evershade Adventurer's Notebook. Let's take a look at what this is. Games like this are why I'm becoming a board gamer. Games like Lands of Evershade, it is certainly fun. I'm playing through Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'll say that. I'm enjoying that. But the thing is, it's interesting playing video games on board games. Like, I love Spider-Man as a video game. One of my favorite video games. But then I'm just as happy, if not happier, to sit down, set up a scenario of Metal Gear Solid, and then tactically plan how I'm going to... Like, if you're playing Spider-Man, there's a stealth-based component to it. But the stealth-based feels more digital. It feels like more reactions and reflexes, as opposed to, like, thinky. Like, when I play Spider-Man Miles Morales, or any Spider-Man, honestly, you're kind of trying to jump around, and you're like, okay, great, I'll wait till they walk there, boom, I'll pull up a guard, and I have to try to stay stealthy to accomplish little mini-goals. Great. When I'm looking at Metal Gear Solid on the table, and I'm, like, tactically analyzing the board, I'm like, okay, those guards are moving there, those guards are moving there. If I do this, then I'm 90% safe. If I do this, I'm 80% safe. no matter what, there's always a gamble. I could roll poorly, draw the wrong reaction card. It feels cerebral. It's very satisfying. And board games give you that mental satisfaction in a way that video games just don't, in my opinion. I love video games. I love them. But like even like playing something like Slay the Spire is not the same level of mental satisfaction. 35-page rulebook. I agree with that. Okay, that's what you're saying. You're saying 35 is not too bad. I agree. This is a little notebook over here. It's more that I know the game enough that I could probably dive in with the tutorial. One of the most frustrating things, again, not to complain about being someone who gets early access to games, one of the most frustrating things about covering prototypes and then the final games is sometimes I have to reread a 35-page rulebook because they may have changed some small details, and I don't know what they changed since the prototype, but I have to like relearn a game for that 4% that's different, and they're not going to include a guide with people like, if you've played the prototype, here's what's different, because that's what, 15 people? Like it's not relevant. But it is frustrating. The fact that they give a tutorial means I can follow along with the tutorial and reference the rules as needed. That would be great. That is this over here. Yes, Divinium is that. Zombicide is difficult enough. Pirate Zombicide is a big disappointment to me. Too much fantasy, not enough pirate. Interesting. They definitely do have some fantasy elements going on. I think there's plenty of pirate, but I also think wait till the all-in drops, the last expansion. I do plan on doing a should you back it in the last few days of the campaign. I have a soft spot for Zombicide, so even though I do less, like, you know, to back or not to back, or should you back it, or things like, oh, this is a metal posters. Okay, I have one of these for Stalker. Now I understand what this is. Even though I do less crowdfunding content like I used to, I'm still going to do it for Zombicide because I'm a fan enough of the system, and I want to go over all the unlocks. I haven't even paid super attention to it. I've looked at a few, and I'm happy with the stuff I've seen. I do agree that they definitely do seem to be giving you content for Zombicide, for Fantasy Zombicide, but I have Fantasy Zombicide, so I am the target audience for that too. Although I do think I want Pirate stuff more, because I have plenty of Fantasy Zombicide. Okay, Lands of Evershade with a displaced poster. This is fun. I like the art. I like having more. It's not official displayed. It's just metal posters. Surface preparation. Okay, don't care. We'll look at that later. What's in this one? What's the art? This one feels thicker. No, it's not thicker. There's two of them. That's why it feels thicker. All right, let's take a look at what other metal posters there are. These are fun. I have one section in my back room where I have a metal poster that I swap out from time to time, and I can add this to the list along with my Stalker one, and also my Labyrinth one. Labyrinth was surprisingly fun, by the way. I don't think it's a forever game for me, but it was more fun than I thought it would be. In fact, I just did a video. Well, I shouldn't do spoilers. Okay, this is the one of the pits from one of the early towns you visit in the very first campaign. I remember that. I remember the artwork from that giant pit sinking into the center. So, another good poster. Let's take a look at the last one, and then we'll get to expansion boxes. And how long? Okay, we're at 40 minutes. My longest unboxings are in the hour range, but I don't want to go all day. I have things to do. I have work to do. I have games to play. I have game night tonight. I have my son's having his bar mitzvah this weekend, for those of you who know what a bar mitzvah is and all that. So it's going to be a busy weekend. Family's coming in, all those fun things. And then we got this. Okay. Fun fact, okay, what's that? See? Very solid. Okie dokes. That is that. Let's go ahead and see what we want to open next. We have an Advanced Adventure. We could open that. We could move these over here. We can... I guess we'll open this. I don't know whether this will be that exciting. Like, I thought this would be a shorter unboxing. I guess the rambling and the live definitely makes it longer. Because, like, sometimes when it comes to narrative stuff, like, there's only so much I can show. I don't want to, like, spoil things for you. This is an Advanced Adventure, so as you can see from the side, I assume that's the part that's saying it's a level 2 adventure, because we also have Songs of Luada, which on the side shows that it's a level 3 adventure. If it could focus properly, focus. Don't focus. Why? There we go. Level 3 adventure. So those are your levels to the adventures. Okay, let's take a look and open this up. The Ashes of Heavens. We got another book, which was what I'd expect to see. We have a little bag. We have some cards. I will not heavily go into this because, again, let's keep spoilers free. We have, ooh, look at this. Abandoned in the Fade Lands. Okay, see, this is the kind of spoilers that I warned you could happen. Like, there's going to be content shown. What does that mean? No idea. Does it intrigue me? Yes. Does it annoy some of you as a spoiler? Maybe, hopefully not. Like, to me, that's, like, just enough that I'm, like, intrigued. But I also respect that some of you might be like, but spoilers. But I also warned you. So, like, there's that balance here. Okay, we got this guy over here. You know, he seems intense. He needs to relax a little bit. Play a board game. Maybe some Spider-Man, who knows. Slay the Spire is pretty good. Slay the Spire 2 is pretty good. So we got some solid art. Lots of journals and texts. I am I really need to prioritize what game I'm playing. This is the problem with, again, this is the problem I have. I jump around from game to game and then I don't finish them. So game plan is finish Boss Fighters QR. I'm playing that with multiple people. Play more Metal Gear Solid. I'm playing that solo. Although I need to figure out whether I'm playing this solo or with multiple people. I don't want, and I could do 2 campaigns at once in theory, but I don't want to. I'm gonna pick a lane. So I need to decide how much do I like Lands of Evershade, and where does it fit into my, I mean, I know how much I like it, but where does it fit into my gaming schedule? Because I want to get this played. I'm glad I did this unboxing, because this is reminding me how much I want to dive into it, and the tutorial system is making me think I could dive right into it, which is a big thing for me. The ease of diving into it. This is scaring me, because I think that the first box I opened had packs like this, but there's an open slot. I'm gonna have to watch my unboxing back. I wonder if I misplaced a deck of cards somewhere. Alright, we'll figure that out later. It's bound to be somewhere, right? Oh, and we have this over here. We have the Weeping Heart. Again, not really a spoiler for me. It's just tempting enough. Will you be at GameCon Canada? I will not. When is it? I don't think I can be, but depends on what it is. So again, this is just more text through another campaign to go through. It's not exciting right now, but it's exciting because I want to play it. That's the exciting part. Even though my little brothers runs D&D sessions, I'm a little too nervous to try that game. So for me, this is probably about as close as I'll get to that type of experience. I think this is the kind of D&D experience I want. I like board game D&D. I don't like role-playing D&D. You should try it at least once. I don't know if I've tried D&D. I've tried role-playing multiple times. I don't know if I've ever tried pure D&D. Maybe Baldur's Gate. I should give Baldur's Gate a shot. I love R2, just with title wasn't so large. What race are you going to play? No idea. I'm going to take a look and go from there. That's gorgeous artwork. I play basic human. I always do have, there's only one small pack in the first one. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. I love, this is so helpful having a chat with me as I do this. Because I remember when I was putting away the first box, I was like, there's nothing that goes in this spot. But I was doing the unboxing, so I was like, let's just not focus too much. And then when the other ones had multiple, I was like, did I misplace it? I don't know. Baldur's Gate is incredible. The question is Baldur's Gate good enough solo? That's my main question, because is it good enough solo? Because when it comes to people, I'm going to schedule people around board games. I guess I do have friends that don't live close to me. That's an upside to playing these things digitally. But I think I need to balance what I rely on others for, and therefore I'm not the victim of their convenience, and what I do with myself. So again, Metal Gear Solid, playing myself. Versus a bunch of other campaign games. I'm playing Tidal Blades 2 with 2 people. I'm playing Boss Fighters QR with 1 person. I'm playing Kinfire Chronicles with 1 person. I think those are the main things that I'm in the middle of as far as campaign games. So I'm not in the middle of a ton, but I'm definitely in the middle of stuff. This weekend we have this weekend is my family and the bar mitzvah. But then right after that, next week I have a friend coming in that I will be playing a whole lot. I'll be playing Rise of Queensdale as a legacy game, and possibly playing through the Queen's Dilemma, as well as playing through the entire Two Towers trick-taking game. So lots of ambitious plans. Games are happening, just the questions are which ones and when. So we got a little dice tray, which I like these kinds of dice trays. They're nice. Although my favorite dice trays, I hate to say it, my favorite dice trays are from the people who did Chai Tea for Two. I've always loved those dice trays the most. There was another company that started doing them too, because I say that because Chai Tea for Two, not my favorite company, just my favorite dice trays. These kinds of dice trays are easy to fold flat and pick up, and I love the artwork on it, but they haven't been my favorite type of dice trays in general. We can go ahead and roll a bunch of dice into here and see what we get. Yeah, it's good. I'm curious about the edges. How often will I feel like there's a cocked die? I guess they'll always settle to the center. They'll probably always settle to the center. Toss that one in, and I would always play with whatever the final roll is if I'm doing this. So that 2 is now a 2, unfortunately. Cool. I'll use it. I'm comfortable with it. But then we also have what looks like to be metal dice, which I'm more excited for. I am a sucker for metal dice. Oh, these are individually bagged metal dice. So now I'm curious. If you are someone who is involved with manufacturing at all, why are metal components, sometimes small bags, the hardest to open? It's sometimes easier to cut them open. Why is that metal components sometimes get individually packed in a way others don't? Would they chip in transit? Is that it? One of my favorite unboxings ever to this day is Terraforming Mars Big Box. And the specific thing that's my favorite is the end of the video. And you can just go watch that if you want, but just the end of the video I enjoyed. Baldur's Gate 3 is incredible, 100%. BG3 is very good. Are you looking forward to Daredevil Wave and Marvel Champions LCG? No. I love Marvel Champions. I don't play enough of it that I still get all the content because I love Marvel Champions. But for every... Again, embarrassing secrets of being a board gamer. for every 2 packs I buy of Marvel Champions, I probably play the game once. So, like, I'll buy 6 packs and then play the game 3 times. So I'm not getting remotely near enough content relative to what I'm buying, but I like the game so much that I'm like, I still am going to keep buying all the stuff so that I can play whatever I want. I do love Marvel Champions. These are metal dice that aren't focusing. Focus. 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 There we go. These are nice. They are hefty. I like these a lot. They're metal, and metal is cool. Lands of Evershade is basically a board game version of Baldur's Gate. I believe that. I really like the prototype. I really like the prototype. You know what I'm excited for? That I reviewed around the same time, but this showed up first, is Avalon. Avalon the Riven Veil from Shadowborn Games. That I'm excited for as well, because both of these were 2 very different experiences that I reviewed around the same time. Both got 5 out of 5s, and I don't give a ton of 5 out of 5s. I mean, the ones, like, I give... This year's actually been very good for 5 out of 5 so far. But generally, I think the past 2 years, I review hundreds of games every year. Last year, I gave like 6 5 out of 5s. The year before, maybe like 5 or 6, something like that. Like, there's not a lot that come out each year, because there's lots of good games. There are very few truly great games. Okay, I see what was happening. Why is this sliding? What about... Okay, this is what slid the first time. The back of this box is concave, so if it falls to the edge a bit, it's not like flat, it's already sliding because this is concave inwards. What is it, by the way? Replace your cardboard tokens with high quality acrylic ones. So I love this in all their deluxe Euro games. I am curious how I feel about this one. I assume good, like high quality acrylic tokens are high quality acrylic tokens. The picture doesn't look super inspiring, honestly, but the tokens look better. Okay, I'm okay with this. The picture, like the picture over here, they kind of look very flat, almost like 3D printed quality, which is not what I'd be looking for. But I do think they are better than the picture gives them credit for. I will rebox them shortly. Let's go ahead and show you some of these. I am intrigued as to like how they fit into the player board, or do these fit into the player board? I don't know, but we got these. Let's like zoom in and drop more so you can see. We got tokens. I like the feel. I like acrylic tokens. I am excited. They got the stat little markers over here for those A's. I think this goes for the A's and B's, but I could be wrong. Probably scratching issues on metal dice. Yeah, probably. Lands of Evershade advertised itself as Baldur's Gate 3 with an Elden Ring aesthetic. Yeah, an Elden Ring. I like the world of Elden Ring. I haven't played the video game because I think that from Software's games, I didn't like Bloodborne. Here's a question for you as well. Let's continue to source the hive mind. If I didn't like Bloodborne, should I still try Elden Ring itself? Like, I'm not looking for games that are so... I'm not looking for games... I like skill. So I like Spider-Man, I like getting better at, you know, being able to take down hard enemies. But I'm not looking for games where you have to replay the same thing 17 times so you can feel like you mastered it. And that's what I felt like with Bloodborne. Bloodborne was a lot of running through crowds to ignore stuff that you already dealt with because you didn't want to grind, but then having to just like... It felt like a grind. I wasn't here for Bloodborne, the board game or the video game for that matter. But let me know if I should try Elden Ring, because I am intrigued by Elden Ring, but I've never pulled the trigger on it. I have too many video games as it is, by the way. You know what I'm excited for? I'm excited for Marvel Token. Is it Token? Token? Marvel Token? I don't know. However you pronounce it, I'm excited for that. I enjoyed... What's it called? What's the DC game called? Not Unbroken. It's like Unsomething. Whatever the DC fighting game is called. I really enjoyed that. I'm excited for Marvel Token. The videos look great for it. I have not pre-ordered it because I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a video game in my life. The only question is whether I wait to buy it on sale or whether I buy it when it comes out. I buy very few games. Digital games, I buy very few at full price. Very few. I think I'm more of a board game person, that I can wait for the video games. I have a backlog. Like Spider-Man 2, I finally bought Spider-Man 2 like a month ago because on sale for $30. So I was like, okay, I like Spider-Man 1 and I have Miles Morales already. I'll get Spider-Man 2 eventually. So I bought that. I just bought Street Fighter because on sale for like $20. This is not opening the nicest over here. Come on, open! Out! On spot. Well, now this is going in the pile of trash over here. But yeah, I think one of the last times I bought a video game at full price, there were two. The one I regret, one I did not. The one I don't regret is Split Fiction. I bought that at full price. Did I scratch myself? Like cut myself? I'm not sure. I bought Split Fiction, loved it. My daughter and I loved playing through It Takes Two, and when Split Fiction came out, that was one of the few games that I got at full price ever. And then the other one I bought at full price was I bought Space Marine 2 at full price because my son loved Space Marines, and I was like, fine, he really wants to play it. And then he didn't love it. It was too hard for him, which makes sense, honestly. Probably should have looked into it more. That was a mistake, and I didn't, I waited too long. I actually bought the one on Steam when I could have gotten the return. I could have done a return on it, but I waited too long to do a return, and so I did not. I'm trying to think of other video games I have bought at full price. It's very rare for me. I am very much a discount gamer. But I might, like Talkin' I'm interested in. My kids are interested in Talkin', and so if they're interested in it, and if I'm interested in it, sometimes I'm willing to, like, you know, cough it up and just pay for something. But I'm a budget person, says the person who spends way too much money on video games. We have over here, we have Looter Rotling. Looter Rotling over here. We are making our way decently through the stuff over here, so there's a few more things to get into, but nothing too crazy. Putting these little guys back into the boxes is annoying as anything, though. That was a mistake to, like, I'm going to do this like that. There we go. Oh, nope, that was a mistake. Probably should have done it like that. Okay, this needs to go like this. Because I'll organize it all later. I don't want to do it right now, so I need to be able to put this all back in a way that I can get to it. That's good enough. That's good enough. We'll do the backing. Why not? Oh, no! I lost the backing. Do I need this even? Or is this just image? Just an image. But I'll still put it in, because why not? And I will organize this all while watching some TV show later. It's back. The coins, unfortunately, are a lost cause. Lands of Evershade, Companions of Evershade. Is that a cat? That's a cat! I like cats. Only one cat for this unboxing, and she only stuck around for the first few minutes, but she did go in a box, so I call that a win. Is there a lot of handling of tokens? No, where are we? I would not recommend Elden Ring 10 was not like Bloodborne. Thank you, that's very helpful. The cardboard ones look a little better. I'm with that with Final Girl. Okay, buy it all. Did you get a shipping notification? Yes, I did. Elden Ring is about observing the enemy and learning their attack patterns. Yeah, which I don't mind. Everything's situational. Like, again, I mentioned boss fight at QR. It's definitely not like the difficulty of Elden Ring, but I'm playing it on a higher difficulty. And a big part of the game, like the last boss we fought, we had to fight it 3 times because we had to figure out what the secret was. Like, there's a degree of pattern building of boss fight as QR is like you scan QR codes of the cards. It's kind of fun and charming, very light and accessible. From Pegasus, I believe. But there's definitely a degree of learning the bosses when you play it on higher difficulty levels, and I did enjoy that. But I think when you lose, and the difference between feeling like you're mastering something versus feeling like a grind is going to be case by person. And for Bloodborne, for me, it was definitely a grind. But again, every person is going to be different. Every game is going to be different. And so here we got our little companions, which honestly I'm not that super impressed by. They're fine. They're fine looking. They're not bad. But like even the Sphinx cat's not super cool. These do not beat astronaut space cats. Okay, that is this. Let's take a look at the next thing. It's not needed. Play Expedition 33. That's the same aesthetic as LOE and Elden Ring is an RPG. It is on my I'll tell you a few things that are on my to buy when they go on sale list. Expedition 33. What's the one? What's the fighting one? Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is on my list to buy when it goes on sale. Probably some others. But I think because I have so many games that I slowly get to, I'm very rarely... Whoops, this is part of that. I'm very rarely in a rush to get things when they're not on sale. But Expedition 33 more and more, part of the challenge too is I'm a little bit more flexible in how much I'm willing to pay on Steam. Because on Steam I can at least get a refund if I don't like it. But I also have a PS5, and those games I don't get a refund if I don't like it. So I'm more, and I think Expedition 33 for me is very much a PS5 game and not a Steam game. Personally, I don't even know if you can get it on Steam. I assume you can, but I guess I could buy it on Steam, see if I like it, and then return it and get it on the PS5. That's certainly an option. I did not think of that. I should be doing that more often. All right, we got 3 more boxes to go through. We are almost done. We are 57 minutes in. We are over a character model variety pack. This will be a bunch of miniatures. This is very easy to get into. Let's go ahead and do this and take a look at Sha. What I've seen, you slot in the dual layer player board, and the cardboard just fits better and has better art. Yeah, that's we're gonna take a look, but that could be a deal breaker on their acrylic tokens. Like I like acrylic over cardboard, but if the cardboard feels like a better fit, then it is what it is. A lot of board game people seem to be cat people. I did not know I was a cat person. I mean, I knew I liked cats more than dogs. Like, if you asked me cat person or dog person, I would always say cat person. But I had a cat growing up. I liked my cat. But I didn't like my cat passed away one day. I didn't lose sleep over it. I was a teenager. Like, I was sad. The cat was gone. Like, I liked her, but she was gone one day, and that was fine. And then my kids wanted a cat, and so I got a cat. And then I got a second cat. And then I got a third cat. You can see where this is going. And I like the cats too much. It is a problem. They have gotten in the way of my work-life balance. My work-life balance is already complicated because I have 2 jobs. I have Board Game Co. and I have GameFound. And the only reason I'm able to do both of them is because Board Game Co. is entertainment. I don't really have an off switch in terms of my actual work-life balance. I'm always playing games, learning games. My exercise time is legitimately, I kid you not, is for like 45 minutes a day. I go walk to get my 10,000 steps, and I read rule books while I do that. I'm like out in the neighborhood walking and reading rule books or inside on the treadmill. I don't have work-life balance. I just have a life that I enjoy which is my work-life balance. Sorry, work that I enjoy, which is my work-life balance. Which again, is a good thing. But it means things like the cats have like, it's much harder to film at 1 a.m. in the morning when there's cats meowing at you because they think you should go to bed. It's harder than you'd think. So they definitely got in the way of things. Anyways, let's do miniatures. Yeah, I think the consistency of the content on the channel, I think like the cats have been a source of joy and a source of just trying to figure out like, okay, now I need to take care of an additional 3 creatures, in addition to my kids, in addition to work, in addition to playing board games, in addition to balancing social life, in addition to traveling, which all of these things I like. I like all of these things. I don't want to change my life. I just wish I had more time in the day. Okay, then we have these. Expedition 33 is included with Game Pass. Maybe I should I get Game Pass? Again, the problem is like I find this is the way I am personality. I do like this guy over here, by the way. I find my personality is such that like I like to own the things I buy. Game Pass feels like, okay, if I do Game Pass and I don't play on a regular basis, and like I go through ebbs and waves. Like for example, again with my PlayStation, I happen to be playing my PlayStation every day right now. Doing my coffee break, I'm playing my PlayStation. That's something I try to do, but it comes in waves. I think there were like there's last year. I wonder if it's a summer thing. Last year, I was playing on my PlayStation, and then for like 5-6 months in a row, I didn't touch it, and like I just was working instead during my coffee break. So some of it comes down to how much work is on my plate. Some of it comes down to the mood. Some of it comes down to whether I have a good game. Maybe I'll try Game Pass. Maybe it might be a better option, honestly. But like I like to own the things. I don't know. It feels wrong. Like there's games I bought. Maybe I should buy games on sale and then for full price games do Game Pass. I should do some math on this. I should figure it out. I really don't like the subscription-based models when I'm used to buying the thing. It's a personality, but like, you know, it is my personality. A lot of board game people seem to be cat. Why do cats love boxes? No idea, but they do love boxes. Galilei, my cat, one of my cats in particular, loves that box to the point that it's set up constantly because that's the box he likes to sit in. So he gets that box and he sits in it. That's the way that goes. But yeah, cats definitely do like boxes. I don't know what lends itself. Maybe it's the feeling of being nestled by something that is generally the appropriate size for a cat. Personally, I recommend the taller ones. So things like, I don't know, Valeria Card Kingdoms. The big box. Valeria has a good one. Any Simon box, like the slightly higher edges. My cats definitely like games with higher edges over boxes that are low edges. Like this might be too big for them. Like that's probably a little too big. They like the feeling of being enclosed. They're liquid, so maybe it feels good to fill the corners. Most are saying Grim Coven is a much better Bloodborne. I did not play Bloodborne, but I can attest that Grim Coven is a must-play. So I can tell you that from playing the prototype of Grim Coven, that Bloodborne I liked but didn't love, and Grim Coven I definitely liked a lot. The only challenge I have with Grim Coven is there are so many games that I like a lot, and the harder something is to table, the less likely I am to play it, even if I like it a lot. I definitely have an affinity towards games I already know very well, or lighter, easier table games, or games that are so good that it's worth it. Like Grim Coven was a 4 out of 5 for me, which is good, but it's also a lot of work to get into the 4 out of 5. Like maybe I'll just play something I already know. I already know Metal Gear Solid. I already know, I don't know, Cthulhu Death May Die and Zombicide and so many of these other games. Do I need to play Grim Coven? I already know Primal. Do I need to play Grim Coven? And short versions I still have on my shelf. Like I did not get rid of it because I do want to play it. But that's part of the challenge with having lots of games, that even when I enjoy a game, I have to weigh up how much do I enjoy it versus how much work goes into getting it tabled. And that's where a lot of games from my collection are going to be purged. I mean, they're already being purged on a regular basis, but I think even more so, I think I need to be even harsher because the ease of tabling a game, like, I got rid of Isopherian Guard this year. I love Isopherian Guard. It's such a good game. But that, honestly, that was less about how difficult it is to table, and that was more about the fact that there's like 300 plus hours of content. There's too much content for that game that I know I'm not going to play it. Like, this, I could say 15 hours plus 15 plus 15. That's 45 broken up into 15-hour chunks. I can do that. So this comes down to how hard is it to table, not how long it is. But, like, I just think, again, everyone has to do what's best for their life and balance their own needs. One of the nice things about a game, like, you know, again, the nice thing about video games, not that I prefer tabletop games, but the nice thing about video games is the ease of jumping back into something. I could not play Spider-Man for 2 years and then open the game, start playing, and I'll pick it up in 2 seconds. I'll be like, yeah, that's how it works. I remember now. You don't have to like relearn a whole system and figure out, okay, when I move my character here, am I breaking 4 rules? Am I, like, what am I doing wrong in the game? This is the last box, by the way, so we are almost done. I played Bloodborne from Simon and Grim Coven. I love Grim Coven better, less random. Yeah, Grim Coven was very solid. On the same subscriptions, however, it's super easy to end it, and I figured that if I really like the game so much that I want to own it, it's much cheaper by then. Yeah, I should consider it, but I do need to finish. I'm almost done with Miles Morales, and then I need to decide what I'm playing next. But maybe I'll do Expedition 33. Maybe that could be the game I play for a few months. We'll see. Aside from Grim Covenant is a game in itself. You see, that is the scary thing right there. And again, I played the prototype, but I played it a year and a half ago. I don't remember much. Yes, setup for Bloodborne is much shorter. Yeah, these are factors. Okay, we are ending with the big miniature box, which is a good way to end the game. End this unboxing. Thank you all for joining me with this live unboxing. We're not done yet. This is chock full of fun miniatures. Okay. There's fun things to go over here. I will not show everything, especially some of the repeated characters, but also some that's a mess and seems to have been falling all over the place. But we will show you some things, because that's a good way to end. Let's start by showing you the smaller things over here. Alright, we got these. Okay, they're cool. They're flying books with that, like, the new, like, acrylic thing that companies like to do where they throw plastics onto their miniatures. Well, miniatures are already plastic, but they throw more plastic of different colors onto the miniatures so that they look cooler. And I think that it works. I think it does look cooler. Alright, those are the 3 miniatures we got in this box, so we are done with these characters now. Now we can go to some more characters. We got, these are 2 sets of 6, so again, there's lots to show. Like, this is what we're going to be going over shortly, but, like, there's lots of duplicates, so we're showing you the duplicates first. There's also a small dragon. I'm not going to assemble the dragon. Probably not, because I assembled the large dragon. It's the first thing I did this video. Then we have these 2 guys over here. Look at these guys. They're cool. They're cool looking. Lots of cool looking miniatures. I think, don't tell me, but I think these are made by Awakened Realms. That, by the way, is a callback joke for those of you who have been here for a while. Otherwise, it's a very weird joke to make for someone who showed up 2 minutes ago. Be like, what is this guy talking about and how drunk is he? I'm not drunk at all yet. Also, I really don't drink at all. This is a cool miniature, by the way. I really don't drink at all. I find that the calories just aren't worth it relative to other like, things I could do. Like, other stuff I can have. It's just not worth it. Like, the problem with counting calories is you do lose. Like, I saw a reel the other day. It was showing a person, like, the tagline was, like, envy, like, how when you miss the days when you didn't know what a calorie was. And I was like, this guy looking at, like, a container of Reese's ice cream and then putting it back in the freezer and just, like, falling to the floor. If you're someone that counts calories, there is something nice about the times when you didn't think about calories. But I am someone who needs to think about calories or I gain weight. It's one of those 2 things. And so I think about calories. And that means alcohol is now a barely ever kind of thing. Like, I offered to do a drinking gameplay of Pirates Zombicide because I thought it'd be fun. But even doing that, I was like, well, this gameplay is going to cost me a few hundred calories because that's what alcohol is, and it's not worth it. Like, there's things that are worth a few hundred calories. Alcohol is fine. I'm fine with alcohol, but I don't think it's worth the calories. Oh, this is the dragon. This needs wings. There are wings. I'm not going to put them on because I'd have to take them back off to put them in the box. So I'm not going to do it right now. It's just, it's a wingless dragon. Then we have this character over here, who is, you know, another character. Okay, we are almost done. We're on the second half of this. I will save... Honestly, I think the coolest one was this one over here. I'm going to save that out so I can show it to you again, because it is the coolest one. We have this guy over here. He's got a longer arm. And this guy over here, who seems to be king of the crowd people. He's got lots of little arms over there. Let's put this back in. How does that go in? That goes like that. That goes like that. We got these guys. These are 2 of the larger models, so let's show you them one at a time. And then we have this one over here. Again, detail is excellent. Miniature quality is excellent. We're happy to face off against these guys on the board when they do show up. We got these ones over here. And then I'll show you the other blue one. And then I'm going to show you my favorite one again because it's so good. And I want you to see my favorite one because it's so good. We are almost done, peoples. If I can put these back in the right place. Alright. And then we have this guy. My favorite one. This guy has other colors in it. I do love other colors. I don't think this looks super cool, honestly. Like speaking of Grim Coven has a lot of super cool monsters that have this kind of pattern. Did I ever unbox my Grim Coven? I feel like I did. Did I do a final unboxing? I think I did. I think I did do an unboxing of Grim Coven. And then we have this one, which I showed you already, but this is my favorite miniature. The way it's like kind of splitting open. I like it. Okay. That is everything. That is all the stuff for Lands of Evershade. I will be playing this game because it's awesome. It's freaking amazing. I was excited to have this one show up. The when, oh, this has to go in the middle. The when is, I think I want to knock out Boss Fighters QR and the other one I mentioned already, Kinfire Chronicles, before I dive into this. I just need to be very careful and diligent. That doesn't turn into a thing that goes on my shelf, and then only to be played never when the next cool thing shows up. So I want to get to this sooner rather than later. Maybe I could do it side by side. Maybe I just finish Boss Fighters QR. Maybe I just do that, and maybe Kinfire Chronicles I do side by side because I can do 2 games at once, right? I can do it. I can make it happen. Why won't this close? Oh, this knife's broken. Lovely. This knife is totally broken. Okay, so this knife needs to go in the garbage because this, by the way, is, so for those of you who can see, this is falling apart. It means it lost a screw somewhere, and I don't know where the screw is, so this knife has to be closed and then thrown out, apparently. How will this work? What is going on here? This is supposed to fold inwards, but I don't want to cut myself, so let's try not to do that, because cutting yourself live is, cutting yourself is bad, cutting yourself on a live video, but this feels like it won't move inwards if I do it like that. Nope, this won't want to close, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up in some paper and buy a new knife. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. The knife lost its last point of durability. I mean, it must have opened at some point and then just not closed. This was, so for context, I do have a knife coming tomorrow. I say I need to go out and buy a knife. My knife is coming tomorrow because I bought a new one from Amazon because this was loose. But it went from being loose to non-operational, which is a whole different level of thing. So I'm going to wrap it up safely so it doesn't hurt anyone while it's in the garbage can. I do buy my knives cheap, by the way. I don't buy expensive knives. I buy $10 knives on Amazon because, inevitably, fun fact for you, I have lost 4 knives to TSA because I carry my knife around with me and then I forget to take it off when I travel, and then I get to TSA, remember I have it, and I sheepishly go, here, you can do what you want with this and throw it out, and that's why I buy $10 knives on Amazon instead of expensive knives so that I don't feel that when that happens. Until next time, thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here. This is great, joining you for a live unboxing and rambling. We'll be back with others at some point in the future, possibly live, possibly not so, or if not that, we'll have other live videos, because I believe I still owe you a live top 10 solo games. I'm supposed to be doing with Meg at some point, but I think I want to wait. There's a specific game I want to show up before I do that, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Thank you so much. Appreciate it all, and have a good one.